Thank you, Abel. Good evening, all who've taken time out to join this informative webinar today. My name is Prateek, as Abel mentioned, and I take care of marketing for JetBrains in India. As many of you would be aware, JetBrains is the creators of world's most intelligent IDEs. You being at the cusp of starting your career, I would encourage you to explore the JetBrains tools that are available free of cost for students and make the best use of yours and see how you can see it for yourself, how is it that you can increase the productivity. More on this is going to be covered by our special guest today, Pasab Raj, who is the technical head of Prefix Solution. Prefix Solution is an organization which is the biggest partner of JetBrains in India, and they do a lot of consulting and other related works for JetBrains in India. Basu as a person has copious amount of experience in development, and he's the one who's going to take the session today. And he's the best person to take you through and guide you through on how to use different tools, how to make yourself more productive using a bunch of these tools that are available free of cost for you. So I will not eat up more time here, and I'll hand it over to Basu. Basu, over to you.
Thanks, Prateek. Thanks everyone joining in the evening where there is corona is going around all the way. Thank you very much joining to us in the evening. I'm Basu here, as been introduced by Prateek. Thanks Prateek for big introduction. So I rather than taking my I've been almost like 19 years of experience from development to testing, then management and solution architecting, few things, and this is my entire career being there. Just not to waste much time on introduction, so I'll just jump on to the things which I'm going to cover today. And what we can do is, if you guys have any questions or something, you can just hold on till the end, and we'll have a Q&A session. Probably I'll cover you in detail of that. If it is something which is in the middle where you really didn't get something, then probably you can stop me there.
Maybe Basu, the best way to ask questions would be through the chat, and maybe towards the end we can utilize the last 15 minutes to answer those questions from the chat.
Perfect. Yeah. Thanks, Prateek. Thanks for helping me out. Okay, so I'll just cover today. My agenda entire. The 1 hour session is more on around 30 to 40 minutes to cover on why we should use tools and what are the best things, best practices or best options which are available in certain tools where it will help you out in developing the code faster. See, nobody look at how you develop a code. I mean, which tool you use it, rather how fast you can code a quality code. That is what the business look at. So in that perspective, I'll cover a few things like just you are doing starting coding from engineering. I think somebody is there in. Can you mute it? Actually, someone is in. There's a disturbance on the other side.
Yeah, Abel, could you please mute all of us? Basu, there's one feedback already. Could you increase the font size, please?
Oh, okay, sure, yeah. Now it's okay. Now it's clear, Prateek?
Yes, I can. I'm sure people can chime in with their thoughts in the chat window. Let's carry on.
Yeah. So since you guys have started recently on coding application and stuff like that, I want to just to cover a few things on code conventions and what helps in terms of code conventions and things like that.
Vasu sir, kindly unmute yourself. Please unmute yourself. Hello, Basu sir. Hello.
Hey, Basu, can you check if you're, yes.
Yeah, mine is unmuted. Sorry.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah, sorry, guys. I mean, I was, I don't know how it is unmuting.
I think it was done through the admin account and everybody got muted by default. But anyways, let's pick up from where we left. So you were talking about the agenda.
Okay. I think, I've been covered a little bit of code convention, shortcuts, why it is required. Then about, some of the templates, refactoring methodologies or refactoring options which are available with the tool. And some of the build options which are available in the tool, which help you to quickly build the application and then deploy, how we can do quickly. Adding dependencies also, what will happen is while doing your application code, you will not be, jump into some other tool to do a testing. So you can do that as a part of dependencies. For example, you want to do JUnit testing, or you want to have any other code which is dependent with your application code, you can do with that with the POM file. And how it is, done automatically by the tool itself, rather you need to struggle in finding where the jar file is. And similarly, breakpoint, I was explaining more depth on that, where you want to debug the application, where is exactly the problem is, and other stuff you can do as a part of that's an important feature which is available in most of the development tools, which you can effectively use it, so that your code will be more quality one. And integration also, you can integrate the IDEs with many of the applications, with the REST and other stuff, where you can do CI/CD stuff as well, and even you can integrate with some of the repository tools like Git or CVS or GitHub or anything like that. And code cleanup also is a more of the code which you have written. There are many things which has been coded unknowingly, and you want to find out by yourself, rather it should be find out by the tool, how the tool will help you out cleaning up certain codes of that, like code smells, how you can remove all of them and stuff like that. So that's again one more feature which is available in most of the tools, like the code cleanup. Similarly, document also, as a part of the uh, as a part of the code which you have written, you want to put a document as a part of API document. You need not to go into writing the document with what API does, what other things. Rather, you can use a tool called Java Docs, which can able to help you. But this particular option is already available in Java. You can generate it yourself, but there is this option is also made it available for your IDE also, wherein you can use that particular option and analyze dependencies. That also you can do automatically by the tool. And code styles, for example, the code which you have written, it's been readable by others. Otherwise, code reviews and other will be very, very difficult. So such things also is available as a part of the tool. So this is all most of the things which I covered. So this is more of an agenda. What I put together is how it will help you in terms of code faster, quality code, how easily you can do it. So rather than spending more time manually searching for certain things, this is what predominantly I'm trying to cover. And some of why I'm and along with that, I'm also taking up IntelliJ as one of the IDE as a part of the demonstration. because most of the features which I explained, it is been handled in depth as a part of the tool, which I happy to take along as a part of the tool. So I think first thing which I wanted to go is about the code convention. As I said, code convention. So you normally have coding which you do like switch statement. You have for loop, or you define an class file. You define a variable. You cannot define as you like, because every company have their own standards to do. For example, I say, okay, my company should always follow that class file should be camel face, or my variable to be all small characters. So something like that. So those things will be defined by a company as a standard. But as if you are thinking in terms of the Java, there is a code convention from Java as such. So it is being defined by Sun Microsystem, and it is in around 90s. And this has been still now followed by most of the companies which are Java, the preferred, the application which people are developing. They will all follow the code convention of Sun, or you can say now it is Oracle. So, for example, code convention mean, for example, when you are writing a Java program, everything should start with some kind of an author when it is actually created, and blah blah things. So this is also a kind of a template which normally get by people from the companies, saying that this should be our comment section at the top. So for any of the Java file or anything to be created, and along with that, there also be copyright, and all those things will also be part of that. And similarly, for example, if you want to create a package, so what should be the name of the, how to define a package, and how to import, when should import should come up, when actually, there are certain things like authors and other, all, where to define it. And similarly, when you create a class, say, then how should be the class name. So these are all things defined, and comment section also, when you are creating any of the variable, for example, static variable. So why that static variable be defined? Because when you are creating the static variable, it start consuming your memory, cache memory. So if you're creating more and more static, they will also have some kind of standard saying that for this application it should not go beyond these many static variables. These should not consume this much cache. So something like that. So there is some kind of a definition which is done by most of the companies, and people will, as a part of the introduction to the project, they will all be walked through with all these kind of definitions, so that the people can understand and code at the way the company wants. So this is about more of, probably I'll send you this particular document. If you guys are coding in Java, you can use this. Or if people are using some other languages like Python or anything, so there has their own standards to do that, and you can follow those accordingly. So, but it's good, we being in a hackathon or something, if you guys are with, then I suggest go with kind of one standards of code formation. Otherwise, the people who are actually deciding on your, the the problem statement to understand, they'll not be able to understand the code unless you don't have a proper code structure. So my suggestion is to go through the code structure, what exactly, how to define it, and what is the best way of defining the standards. Go with that, and then create your use case or a problem statement. So and this is more of an introductory on the code, how what needs to be done. Now I'll jump on to some of the shortcuts. Why the shortcuts are, see, we can use both the ways. For example, if it is a developer don't want to get into use mouse, so he want to use his keyboard as the tool, rather he's going into the mouse and then clicking the options and other stuff. So normally they use the shortcuts. So once you be familiar with some tools like IntelliJ or Eclipse or anything, it's good to use the shortcuts so that your code, the number of lines of code you can code is faster compared to when you start moving your hand from coding, from the laptop to the mouse. The time is consumed. So that is how we can reduce a lot of time. So I'll walk you through few shortcuts, which is very much predominant shortcuts. I don't want to get into the deep of, because the shortcut itself is around more than 80 to 90 shortcuts are available, out of which there are 40, 50 which are with respect to IntelliJ is very much predominant, which I don't want to get into that in a detail. Whereas, the most important shortcuts, which is anyone should know when they are coding, especially with tools like IntelliJ or the Eclipse. So these shortcuts are meant only for Windows. When you go to problem Mac or when you go to Linux and other stuff, the shortcuts are different. But you can Google it around saying that what are the shortcuts for what, then you will get the list of it. Just I want to show a few of them so that how easy it is, to work around with the code. So first thing is, one of the important thing which is with IntelliJ or any other development tool is the searching a particular variable, searching a particular class in a whole project, because in every project you'll have hundreds of class files, and even when you go get into the companies, the projects will be the product being created from long, maybe 10 years or 15 years, but you want to know about where exactly your class file, where and all being repeated, or where and all being called, or anything like that. The search is one of the best option to have you expect in any of the IDs. So the search option is so easy to use it in IntelliJ. Even in Eclipse also is there, but the depth of the search which is there with IntelliJ is more depth compared to the Eclipse. Just I wanted to show that how exactly. So if you go to double shift, you can say you will get into this thing. So you can either what you want to search. For example, you want to search a classes, you want to search a file, you want to symbol or any actions you want to do. For example, I want to say airlines. So it is automatically will search, okay, where exactly my the class file. So I can click onto that and then go to the. Similarly, this option, especially the search option, will help you out in searching the the class files and the variables, whatever necessary you want to search across the project. You can do it very quickly. So this has been happening because as an IntelliJ idea is being doing the indexing on the backend, wherein everything is stored in a memory where you will get in the fly all of them. So just let me get into the second option, Control E, view recent files. For example, what happens is, for example, what and all files which I have been working on. For example, I'll be working on 2 or 3 classes, or 5 classes, or 10 classes. What are the classes I've been working recently? So those things also you can do with one of the shortcut. So if you press double shift, you can see that what are the class files. Say for example, complex Java, form I have touched, airline problem. So these are all the recently have been worked with these projects. So it's being highlighted by the tool. How easy it is to know it. Otherwise, if you are using something like Notepad or any other tools, then what will happen is searching yourself is become very, very difficult. Similarly, reformat the code. For example, reformatting is something like for example, just show you something. Say I want to go to the previous line, so it will be like this. Say I want to see that my whole code is formatted, because I don't want to go and press next line and get into the backspaces, all the stuff. So there is already a shortcut which is available to help you out to reformat the code. You just use actually Control Alt L. Say to do it Control Alt L, then automatically you can see that automatically the code is reformatted. The people can easily read these lines. So that is what is going to help you. This will also help you in terms of, okay, when you are presenting the code to any of the judges or anything, if you can present with the reformatted code, it's very easy for a judge to understand how the code is being written. Similarly, sometimes what happens is you want to comment certain things, and commenting is normally happens with every, when you're writing code. Otherwise, if you write a code and comment is not written, if somebody else is going to manage that code, it's very, very difficult. And along with that, the codes is been written in a company like 15 years, 12 years, 10 years. And the code, other people who comes into the project, they should understand. So the comments also, you need not to, put a slash and all those things as a comment. Just you can use a shortcut to create, comment. I mean, to start with the comments for any of the code. For example, control slash. Say, for example, if you do like that, it's automatically commented. You need not to press OK double time. You cannot key in twice. So you can, it will reduces 50% of your keying things. So similarly, for example, you want to do comment a block. For example, you want to a particular block, this or any block, block comment you want to do, and you need not, for example, if you want to do it, then you put a slash, the star, and blah blah things, right? So that will take time for you to do it. Rather, you can use control shift and slash. So it will help you to get this double star with the comments, so that you can comment the whole block. So these are all kind of comments which you can use it quickly, so that you're not spending more time on keying certain code in the in a program. You will be more thinking towards the logic than you are thinking of writing more things by keypad. Similarly, for example, I want to run a program, for example. So normally what happens is, I should go here, then run. So when you want to do like this, then it takes time. You have to click run and then go to the, the particular option and other things. Rather, you can just use a control shift F10. So then it will be automatically, it will start compiling for you. It will start running for you. You need not to, go through the menu options and other things. So that will reduces your time not to spend time on clicking certain things. Rather, you will use the shortcuts for certain things. And similarly, there is other things like, and one more thing, what will happen is in every program which we write, for example, in Java, public static void main is normally, one of the things to start with, and people don't want to write everything, right? So when you start writing, public static void main, then what happens is, it's taking your time. Rather than you have a shortcut like PSV. Yeah. For example, if you say it's already there in PSV, and that's why it is not showing me that. Yeah, if you can look at this, PSVM automatically comes in, then you put a tab, then public static void will come up. So you need not to type everything which is required for you. Rather, it will automatically pops up for you. Similarly, system.out println, right? See, normally what rather than going into debug option, you want to see that what is the output which is happening. Then need not necessary that you should type system.out.println. Rather, SOUT is a shortcut. Then you press tab, then system.out.println will come up. So which reduces a lot of your time on writing, and along with that, you need not to remember some of the spellings also. And normally, what happens is remembering the spellings and typing it takes a time. Rather, you can use these kind of shortcuts and insert the code and generate a code. Say, for example, I want to insert certain code or something, right? Yeah. Alt insert. Say, for example, if you take Alt insert, what will happen to this is it will just insert the code which is required for you. For example, say this is how alt insert. So you want to put a constructor, you want to put overridden some methods, you want to write a test case, for example, to this particular the Java file. You can use this. You can double click onto that. You can create a test cases for this and the copyright. So all these things, you can do it with the shortcut. For example, you are using like alt insert, so which will enter the code for you. Um, and uh, and and optimize the imports. For example, optimize imports is something. What happens is, as a part of the program writing, I will keep on adding some imports. For example, import say Java or for example AWT. Yeah, I've included this java.awt as a package, but have you been using this in any part of the code? I'm not using it, but if I start using such kind of packages, it will start consuming your cache. So in order to avoid that, what we can do is we can ask the tool to delete certain imports which are not necessary for us. So you can just use Control Alt O optimal. So it will remove the input. So this is what the kind of help which you get it as part of the tool. You need not to remember, okay, whether I use this particular import or not. I don't know, because you are writing like maybe 200 or 300 lines of code, or maybe 10 or 15 classes. It is very difficult for me to know that where exactly I use this particular import. Rather than that, you can use this particular option wherein you can remove certain things where your code will be robust. Similarly, convert code from Java to Kotlin. Say what will happen is, since Kotlin is picking up day to day now, and you want to convert this. You have written the program in Java, but I want to use that in a Kotlin platform. Then what you can do is you can convert that from Java to Kotlin. So vice versa as well, because the JVM is used. The JVM which is being used, it is being using the same JVM platform, so we can convert from one with the other. And invoke refactoring. So I think I'll spend little time on refactoring. So refactoring is something like it is one of the important options which is available in, I think, even in Eclipse as well as in IntelliJ. But the refactoring, as I was saying, refactoring depth is so huge inside IntelliJ, which you can explore and see that it will work for you. So refactoring is more of, for example, you want a code to be moved from one package to the other, or you want to move the method from one class to the other, and you want to move the variable from one class to the other, or you want to move from the package to a package. So all those aspects can be covered as part of the refactoring. And why we should use these refactoring option is, you need not to bother too much about the problems which comes in as a part of the movement of these the classes or a variable, wherein the tool is able to handle by itself. Say for example, there is actually again a shortcut is available, Control Shift Alt T to invoke the refactoring. So most of the refactoring activities can be done with all these the options which are available. For example, you want to move a class, you want to copy the certain things from the class, you want to change the signatories, rename anything which you want to do it. You can use this particular refactoring thing. But you want to open this, you need not to use clicking on a refactoring. You can use a shortcut like Control Shift Alt T, which is being used in Windows to open the refactoring. Say for example, as a part of the refactoring, say for example, I want to refactor. Say I want to move the class. So from where to where? So it will give out to me, make for example, I want to move to say it is there in the package package like in com.refactor is a package. in that actually a class file called a complex. I want to move that to another package called .reflex. Say for example, if I do this and I hit on refactor, you can see, voila. So you can see that, it will be automatically moved to the other package. So these things can be used as part of your code, wherein when you are trying to move the certain things from one class to another, package to package and other stuff. What behind the scene will help you by the tool is it will not add any more the performance issues. So if you add manually, what happens is there is a lot of performance issue which comes in. So that will be avoided as a part of when you use refactoring option with the tool. For example, you write, you move the class file from refactor to a quickfix. I don't see the tool will maintain the performance of the code behind the scene. You need not to bother about my code is performance degraded. So those are all internally, the performance of code is managed by the tool itself. So you can use Control Shift Alt T to invoke these refactoring options. Similarly, I want to just cover little bit on live template. So live template is actually available in in settings. If you go to that, see what is a live template is more of you want to create so you want to create a part of the code which it has been you are using on often and other things. You don't want to type those things on a regular basis. Rather, it should come automatically as a kind of a shortcut for you. It is a more of creating your own shortcut. The similar, how you can do it is, for example, there is a live template available. You can add your live template, and you say, for example, abbreviation, for example, or for example, a comment. Certain comments, say comments. And I'll say these are all comments for your class file. Then I'll say as a part of this, say I want to have this comment to be coming for every class which I'm going to start, for example. So I'll put this. Say I want to, whenever I type comms, then automatically that particular this particular whole thing should be coming up in my class. So this is more of again defining your own shortcut as a part of the code. Say I'll say this, and then I'll say before I apply, I should assign it to Java so that it will be defined into Java, and then I say apply and say voila, it's done. Okay, now I want to say I don't have anything here. I want to put the comms is coming up. Then I put the shortcut. Then you can see all the things which you put as a part of the shortcut. It comes out. So when you need not to type all of them again and again, or go to the notepad, copy it, and then put it for every classes when you start writing it. So you need not get into such things, because if you go from the context, it's a context, right? You're switching from your IDE to the notepad and again coming back. See, you might have been losing something in between, right? So those are all will be, thought process will be reduced as part of these shortcuts. When you look at this thing. Similarly, I think I covered refactoring, live template. I covered, so you can put anything there. I mean, you want to have certain things which you wanted to call on a repeated basis. Some places you want to create a particular method. You want to call on a different places. Then you need not to type always those methods completely. Rather, you put a shortcut. You call that shortcut, then automatically that the method will be will be called from the place where you want to call from different classes. And the build tool, which I was talking about a little bit on that. So build tool is something you want to build a particular the class file. So So there is a build options are available. So building, otherwise what happens is you want to make it as a jar, for example. You have created all the class files. So if you go to the class files, so every class files will be there in the, targets. If you go to classes, you go to these packages, there is class files. You go to this particular location in command prompt and give jar minus uh, and then the class files, and you have to type in the jar minus IBF, then the jar name, those things and all to be done. So rather than doing all of them, you can use just a build option which is available. For example, I want to create an artifact and I say build. So what will happen with this is automatically the jar file will. Hello, you're able to hear us? Hello.
Yes, Basu, I can hear you.
Okay. So what will happen with this is, automatically the jar file will be created for you. For example, if you go to out and artifacts, you can see the jar file for you. So jar file will be available for you. So you can just, create as a part of the, it's still creating. That is why, it is unable to complete that. So otherwise, you can get those jar files as a part of the option. So if you are not using such things, then you have to write your own batch script or something to call that batch script as a part of the IDE and then do it, right? Rather than that, you just use this option wherein and configure it once, and then keep on whenever you use this particular built artifacts, it automatically created. As and when it is created, you can copy that particular jar file into the application directory, and then you auto start as well. So as and when there is a change in the jar file, then there should be a restart of the application. If you use certain tools like JRebel or something, you need not to restart also. So such things can be used so that as and when you build an artifact, you can immediately see in your application whether changes are being reflecting or not. So these are all the places where the tools will help you out to reduce your time, not to context switch to different applications, so that your more time will be spent on your logic, your coding, your IDE with IDE. So that's the predominantly what I want to cover. There's little more. I think adding dependencies, say, I think most of them knows actually what is dependency, as I explained earlier. There's a POM file. If you can look at, this is actually a build tool. You have a dependency like, say, for example, JUnit should also be a part of that. For example, I want to test as and when I'm doing a program class file, I want also to do my class file to be tested. Then you should have a dependency files also to be there as a part of the build. Then you should represent all those dependencies in form.xml. So if you put this form.xml, it will show that red mark saying that, for example, if I say dependencies, if I put here and say, for example, I'll say 0, 0, for example. If it is there, then it automatically asks, say, import changes. If you need it, then automatically you need not to search for a jar file where exactly it is there in the web. You need not to go to the junit.com and then search for where exactly 4.00 available. So by putting this, automatically it will sync the jar file to your system. So that is how the dependency is being covered as a part of the tool. So you need not to bother about where the jar file is available across the web. Searching in web is not so easy, as you know. So and along with that, as I'm saying, that context switch will not happen. You will not be going to the browser and searching for a jar file. Rather, the tool will help you out to bring the jar file to your desktop or system where you are coding. And the other thing is, breakpoint is a very, very important tool which we should be knowing as a developer, because without a breakpoint, I think it's very, very difficult to debug a particular application. So as a breakpoint, and then you go line by line, and then you can, for example, if I say I'll put a breakpoint here. Okay, say for example, I put like this, what will happen is, this is the breakpoint. The program will run till here, and later than that, it goes line by line. Say for example, if I'm trying to say, say for example, I want to run, say for example, I'm running this program, so it will not, so when I run this, what will happen is it will start showing me on a line by line basis. So it will start line by line and it will stop here. And then beyond this, what will happen is it will start giving, yeah, it's still running it because of that, it's not coming up. But as and when, the breakpoint is put across, then until then it runs, and later than that it goes line by line, and it will start giving the output of every variables. What is the content of the variable at that particular point in time, so that you can debug line by line. So when you are doing the debug of that, then you should use this, you should not run it actually, you should use this icon to, shift F9 if you press, and automatically it start getting into the debug mode, wherein you can see the, the things by line. So it started parsing because it started importing certain things from the manual file. So let me rerun again. So I'm rerunning with the option of debug, so that I want to show you guys that, how it looks in terms of the variables, what should be the output of that. And there are a lot of good options available in, especially IntelliJ, where there are arrow marks, where it shows, line by line how you can move through, and see, for example, see some software. So you can see that, arguments, what is I'm saying, right? I mean, you can also go into the depth of it, say what is the output of your positions, what is the matches, sources. So it will keep on giving the every variable, the output of it, so that, you can go to, for example, I want to go to the next line, then you can use this. It will automatically go to the next line. You can see that, and what should be the output of it. Then similarly, you can move line by line like this, and see that what should be the, how my program is running, and what should be the output in every instant of time. So that that is how the debugging is being been done in most of the companies. So there are two ways of debugging. One is with the code which you have written, what is the output, rather than writing everywhere system.out.println. You can go through this debug option to look at what variable, or what is being stored at what instant of time. The other way of debugging is, the application debugging, then you should go to the log files and understand, and then fix where the problem is. That's a different thing. But when you are writing a program of, application, when you are writing an application, when you want to see that what should be the output of each and every line, where I want to debug whether it's going in the right way or not, how the switching is happening. So you can go through this option, which has been there with IntelliJ. You can explore a lot more there. So similarly, there are so many other options. There is something option here, run to a cursor. See, what is going to happen is, for example, you are calling a different class file. You want to move to the different class from the current class. You can use this option, so that, it will go to the next class, and it goes again line by line to give you back the output at every line of it. So this is more of a debug option. And integration also, I was saying that, for example, integration, you can do integration of the code with most of the repository tools. Like I have actually, integrated with Git. So in Git, actually, you have a lot of options which are coming out from here. Say, for example, you want to roll back the commits. As you know, I think, I have used actually a Git as a repository here, and you can do many things here. You can create a branch, you can pull a request, you can push a code, and you can see the history. All those things is possible within the IDE itself. You need not to go to, repository and check and go what is the commit which I have done. You need not necessarily to go to that. Rather, you can use the IDE itself to help you out in all these, the repository engagement. So I think Java doc, I think cleanup, which I have already said, is analyzes again option which is available. So there is something called analyze dependencies. You can do it, and code cleanup also is a part of that. You can explore those options. And similarly, Java doc again, tool generate doc, uh, there is you can use that option to generate uh, Java doc. For example, in tools, you can find uh, you know Java generate a Java doc. So you need not to go to the Java file and Java directory and then create Java doc or something. You need not to remember all those the commands to create the Java doc. Just use a click of a button, whatever the program which is available or whatever the project is available with respect to a complete landscape of all the APIs and everything will be created as a part of a document. And last thing is, analyze dependency covered code style. So code style again, you can go to your settings and you can see the code style. So, so this code style is normally used in, for example, as I'm saying, the code, the code, the standard of the code or something. You can define all of them in a code style itself. You need not to, always remember, okay, I have to leave around 4 spaces or 5 spaces. For example, every program, what happens is, there is some spaces being left here, some spaces is left here, and all those things. All those things can be configured. There is something called the code style. If you can configure that when you are writing the program itself, it automatically gives those options. The spaces. The lines will be left in between two lines of the code, and all those things will be managed with the code style itself. So this is more of demonstration which I wanted to do. I have 1 hour to present and then to take a Q&A. So I wanted to just cover that as a part of it. A little more I want to cover, but let me hold on a bit and little bit walk you through on the number of tools which are available JetBrains. You can explore whichever languages which you are looking at. A lot of tools available like AppCode, CLIM, Data. So every language you think of, that IDE is available, and the IDE is free of cost for all the student community. So you can go and download and explore. If you're happy by using that, you continue. Otherwise, you should be use the one which you are happy with. Otherwise, I give you confidence that I've been using with some other tools, and recently from last 2 3 years, I mean 4 5 years back, I started adopting IntelliJ IDEA. I started using, and I love to use that because the context which gives out and the experience which is giving out, which is awesome. If you can ask me, do I need to use then only my application complete? No, there are so many tools available, but the experience which you get as using these tools is awesome. They are being, people have been moved from legacy tools to these tools. They're really loving these tools. So Python, you can use PyCharm, Rider. There are so many products available. You can just download and use it. And there are certain team tools which is used for integrating of the CI/CD and other stuff, and Scala for writing Scala stuff. So WebStorm for web application writing. So you can explore all this. I think we'll send you the link also where the student community can download their free licenses as a part of the.
Sir, anything regarding PyCharm?
Sorry. Sorry. Hello. Hello.
Like anything regarding to PyCharm?
See, PyCharm is again a tool where you can do Python coding there. If you can use Java or you can use Python, right? Any application can develop anything, with any of the languages. PyCharm, you can use it for writing the Python code. Only the thing is, rather than creating an object like new in Java, you can just create a variable. It creates an object for you. So, but only the thing is, the biggest problem comes in when it goes in huge code. For example, it's been developed from 5 years, 10 years, or something. Uh, Reading the code is little difficult when you write in Python. So other than that, I don't see any problem in using any of the language. Uh, that's, I think, this I hold on my talk. I just want to give away to the people who can ask questions. So PyCharm, Python, you can use PyCharm as a can downloadable IDE. You can download and then use it. And any point in time you want to learn Python in a deeper, there is already a commit. There is a the training material is available in JetBrains. You can explore that as well. Probably we can send that also as part of the end of the session.
Yeah, so folks, I'm sure most of you know, and this has been part of, Abel has been kind enough to sort of circulate this information along to the wider audience at your institute and the other participating institute. JetBrains has a student version of these tools that you can go ahead and download. You need to apply, and the license will be sent out to you. So Basu, moving on, there are a couple of questions. Maybe we could just look at it. So Yuvraj has asked a question about the shortcuts in PyCharm. So Yuvraj, I can take that. So when you go to our website, there's a document that's available, and it's available for all the IDs that JetBrains make. There are tips and tricks document that you can make use of. Let me know if you want. I can send this across to Abel, and he can forward it to you, to all of you.
Perfect.
Basu?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. The next question is from Joseph. That's a little vague. Is Joseph on the call? If yes, please unmute yourself and ask this question.
Yeah, so like I basically wanted to like, is there any feature for PyCharm for like AI ML kind of things other than what is already existing in Python?
See, as you know, as a PyCharm, most of the AI and ML coding is done in Python.
Yeah.
So most of the plugins also available, plus the lot of help which is available to do. Even you can integrate PyCharm with TensorFlow, such kind of
Yeah.
available tools you can do.
Okay.
Okay, Joseph, I think the next question was also yours.
Yeah. So like that was about like, is there any feature like we can convert our Python codes to Java or interchanging the programs? Like, is there any feature from JetBrains on that part?
Because see, the way Python works and the Java works in completely in a different way. So my knowledge, I think it's not there. Probably I'll take a question from my side and I'll come back to you. But as of now, there is no conversion from Python to Java or something. But I'll come back to you.
Yeah, maybe it will be good to sort of quickly touch upon Kotlin, Basu, because that interoperability is one of the major key features of Kotlin.
Yeah, Kotlin being being one of the language being easy to code compared to see why we people going into Kotlin, because of the number of lines of code which you write in Java. If you write 20 lines of code, you can write it in 5 lines of code in Kotlin, and it is easy to write and other stuff. And along with that, the interoperability, it's a more of you can convert if you are good at it. Say for example, you have written certain things in Java, you can easily convert it to Kotlin and Kotlin to Java. Those things can be possible. Technically speaking, should I? The whole world is moving to Kotlin. I'm not 100% agree on that, but people have started exploring towards Kotlin because of the amount of time it takes to code compared to Java. So Kotlin, you can do it in, for example, in 2 days. Probably Java may takes around 3 days or 4 days. So that way, people are looking at, and it's easy to code. You need not to think on too much. When you take in terms of Java, you have to think a lot. What is my API? I should remember call and all. I mean, everything should be written. But when you look at Kotlin, I mean, it's simple. You create a variable, you have an objective in place with you. But there you have to create a new, and then they create all those stuff. So I think that is how people are exploring Kotlin, but it's going very very positive in market. I think that's good to. I mean, especially on embedded side and other things, people have started exploring a lot on that.
Yeah, absolutely, Basu. And a lot of enterprises have sort of, and I'm talking about India-specific organizations like Zomato, 1MG, Urban Clap. All of these organizations are now moving 100% towards Kotlin. They've started the conversion and they're moving there. So it is touted as the language of the future, and it's always good for young people, to go ahead and learn as many
Explore.
skills as you can. Go ahead, try your hand, tinker around with it, see if you like it. Explore, and then master it. In fact, recently I'm sure most of you know about HackNITR. So there's a blog that is a wonderful blog written by a Kotlin expert available on HackNITR. You should go there and have a look at it. That gives you that's a single point of information available on how to start with Kotlin and what is the benefits of Kotlin. Maybe it's going to be good for you to sort of eyeball it once.
And along with that, in JetBrains too, website also you can learn Kotlin. There are materials available. You can explore that.
Awesome. Any more questions, folks? Okay, I think no more questions. So then we can sort of formally conclude it. I think we are right on time. Started right on time. Closed it at the right time. Thank you very much all for joining us today. It was lovely interacting with all of you. Basu, many thanks to you as always. You're somebody that you can always bank on to help the larger, wider audience, be it community, be it students. Folks, make use of Basu, connect with him on LinkedIn. He's somebody who will never shy of helping anybody on any technical query, as long as it falls under his ambit of expertise. So with that, I conclude. Thank you very much for your time. Best of luck for your future and the hackathon. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Thanks, Pradeep. Bye.